So yesterday we got a decision in this fisherman case. Now, I don't know the name of the case, but it effectively overturned the Chevron doctrine. Now, a lot of people don't know what the Chevron doctrine is, and I'll admit I didn't until this case came up and I kind of looked into it a little bit. I'll admit I'm no expert on this, but Chevron basically was if the laws that establish a rule or a regulation within an agency, like Congress passes something that says the EPA must work toward X goal, whatever the goal is. And it doesn't include the how or the why, all of that. That if it came before a court and the court had to rule on whether or not an agency could do something or how an agency did something, they would tip the scales in favor of the agency knowing how to best do whatever it was they were trying to do. I'm trying to simplify it as best I can. I don't know if I'm making it very clear. But in this case, these two fishermen were suing because there was a regulator that they were supposed to have on their boats, and the law from Congress saying that they must have this regulator doesn't say who pays for the regulator. So the agency that they were dealing with, I believe it was the EPA, I could be wrong, I'm not 100% sure, said that the fishermen, whoever needed one of these regulators on their boats, had to pay for it at their expense. And that's the way it's been since, this particular thing had passed. Well, these regulators said, or these fishermen said, hey, paying for this regulator is costing us too much money. We shouldn't have to be required to pay for it. The government should pay for it. So they sued. And when it made its way all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, well, the law doesn't say which way it should go, but now it should be up to the court to decide which way is best, not these agencies. And they limited a bunch of federal agencies' power in deciding how their own things currently work. They shifted power away from these federal agencies and out of the executive branch back to Congress and to the courts to some extent. Now, I don't know what Congress can do about it. I don't know if Congress can just pass a law or something that says that these agencies have the authority to fill in the gaps where we didn't act and pass it, Biden signs it, there you're done. I don't know if that would be enough. But now a bunch of stuff where the agency has filled in the gaps of these laws, either Congress has to go back and fill in the gaps with the way the agency's been doing it, or if it goes to court and gets challenged, if a judge disagrees with what decision the agency made, it could get overturned and they could go a different direction. This upended precedent. Chevron was decided 40 years ago that this was the way it was going to be. This is crazy. All the justices get asked when they're up at their hearings, do you handle precedent? Is precedent going to be upheld by you, or are you going to overturn a bunch of cases? They all say, no, precedent is what it is, settled law. It's case, it is what it is. They have overturned another precedent. This court needs fixed, and we can only get it fixed with Democrats controlling the House, the Senate, and the presidency.